Victor, just for curiosity.
I'm gonna set my room up for streaming real quick.
She's like 5'4", I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just asking, just for like height reference in terms of, just so I know whether or not Meow's looking down at everybody or looking at people at eye level.
How tall is he?
He is 6'3".
Okay, so definitely down.
Yeah, he's looking down at her.
Yeah. I mean, she's always like trying to make herself seem taller than she is.
Okay.
But with more than 1 foot, I don't think much can be done.
Okay.
I have no idea why my laptop connected.
It keeps calling.
Alright. There it goes. Fair. Alright. That's so weird. For some reason my laptop kept calling Willow.
Yeah, I heard Willow in the background.
Oh no, did Rob hear? That's the end of the world.
I didn't hear shit.
Okay, cool.
There was no voice.
Rob and Willow are opposite, like, magnetic polarities, so if they ever, like, touch, the forces of, like, creation and destruction unite and
You know how you're,
destroy
you know
the
how you're
world.
never supposed to touch, like, if you ever go to the past, you're not supposed to, like, interact with yourself? It's like that, but we're different people.
Here's the weird thing, though. What if you remembered the fact that you interacted with yourself?
Yeah, I mean, that's why you don't do it. Like, that's the whole point.
No, but the whole point is that you did. And to keep the universe imbalanced this way is that you have to interact with yourself.
No. I don't. I feel like I failed at the analogy.
Like, what if you the part of it is that you interact with yourself to save yourself without you knowing that you had to save yourself.
Well,
the mysterious stranger savior scenario.
Oh, you're talking about Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter with the stupid Patronus.
Yeah.
Why'd you cast the Patronus? Because I knew it was me. And it was like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the reason why I interacted with myself is because I had to do it because I already did it.
So
yeah,
here's
Harry Potter also doesn't actually roll with the if you touch yourself you die rules.
Here's the other thing about Harry Potter. Like, when you take writing advice from any professional writer or storyteller, they tell you never repeat any of the things Harry Potter did because it is an anomaly of a story that breaks every single rule of what you shouldn't do to write a good story and somehow find success. And other people try and imitate it and write the most garbage stories in the world.
Really? Wow.
That's interesting.
Fair enough. And then,
of course,
there's me who's trying to write a story that it has 3 different endings I can come up with. One of them being a cliffhanger.
That's a bad rule. Gotta come up with the ending first, and then you fill it with garbage.
No, I have the beginning, I have the ending, and I have parts of the middle, but I have nowhere to string them. I have no thread.
Hey, a story is the thread. That is
yes,
what makes
and that's the problem, is that the thread is really, really weird, but the world is intriguing.
So,
from what I've been
speaking of threads, let's weave some tonight.
Alright.
Alright. Let's do this. We are officially live. We've been live before, but welcome to the Ilderon Tales, and we are back after some long time, and I promise everybody the channel is not dead. The channel is not dead.
Just a holiday break.
Yeah.
Just a holiday break.
Anyways, this is the Ilderon Tales. This is Group D. Brothers in Arms, episode 5 of the second part of their campaign. And tonight, I would say we have a full party. We have a full party in spirit. I won't bad talk Jordan on stream. I'll say it to his face directly. No, I'll say it to his face directly in the chat, in the Discord chat.
I mean, that's the worst place to do it.
But
he doesn't read it.
Oh, sad day. I'll Facebook message him. Anyways, we have most of the party here. I'll be controlling Johan tonight, and we are picking up a new player that will get introduced later, and I will give him a chance to describe him and... Well, actually, I will give you a chance now, Josh, to give us your character's name in 2 sentences about him, however you want to describe him, and then we'll get into the rest of the recap for tonight.
Oh, how's the audio?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Great. So yeah, his name is Rael Caltris, and he is a purveyor of magical items and fine art.
All right. And so this campaign in its entirety, we were playing Dungeons and Dragons. It is a role-playing game. Everything you are seeing tonight is not scripted. I have no prep work for this session. We're just going to find out where we land. So anything can happen tonight. Moving on further, the setting we're playing in is called Ilderon. It is a land where gods and mortals all walk this one massive physical plane, and I actually drew a picture of what the cosmic planar structure looks like of this realm on the Discord channel. So the Discord link's in the description of the video. Feel free to hop in and learn more about the world or campaign setting. And moving even further, we are playing tonight. Our story takes place in the country of Arder Sarai. It is one of the oldest nations in the world. It is a nation of warriors and barbarians and glory seekers. The nation itself is teeter-tottering on the verge of collapse. It just experienced a major set of political assassinations to its sovereign ruler and the council that advises and selects the next sovereign ruler when the ruler is killed. So the country was in chaos for almost an entire month as the next ruler was being selected. And while that chaos was breaking out, a civil war began to brew and was only quelled by 2 gods that you both exist in the material plane, getting into a scuffle with each other and fighting over the capital city of Arder Sarai and tearing open a storm above the city that ripped open a spiritual storm and let spirits from the afterlife pour into the material plane and start possessing people in the city and possessing the 2 rival armies, or the 3 rival armies that were stationed in the capital for the Civil War, and all hell broke loose, as literally hell broke loose. And when that event was finally quelled, and the spirits were dealt with, and the destruction that they wreaked was brought to an end, the spirit storm still lingered over the city. And is still there to this day. The mages of the city have been trying to find a way to close it, and our campaign takes place as groups race around the city trying to figure out what to do to save their country. The group that we are with tonight is a group loyal to the new ruler of this country, the new sovereign magnate, since the last one was killed. They are, from what I can guess so far, mostly completely loyal to her. And it has been revealed that she is pregnant with a bastard child. She is also carrying some sort of curse put on her by one of her mages that she is unaware of, and the mage let the party know last session that that curse could have implications for her unborn child.
What?
Yes. And so let's just go with everything that happened last session. Last session picked up on the 9th of the month of Hunter. On the 9th day, the party was instructed the day prior to talk to Alis, one of the court mages of Zenith Rise. She has a new plan on how to close the Ghost Storm. The party went to started before they went to give her aid. They started their day in the cellars of the Calkin office. The original plan to close the ghost storm was using a metal that seemed to hurt the spirits and ward them off, called cold iron. After many experiments, the party found out that cold iron wouldn't have the properties needed in order to permanently close the portal. It serves better as a ward or barrier to hold back spirits, but it wouldn't do anything to actually like repair planar fabric. After seeing that the material was dangerous to magical entities, the party found out that cold iron wasn't going to do anything for the portal. Octavia got bored of everybody debating and played a trick on the party, using dancing lights to imitate a ghost flying through the dungeon. And after the party got scared of it for a moment, Oro made a comment that she did the same thing in the graveyard. That prompted everybody to ask, like, wait, what graveyard? And the party learned that they were being, Octavia, Oro, and Oro's squire, Weston, had encountered 2 members of the Gendenthal cult, Tatus and Lorraine Eyre, in the graveyard. They were looking at the memorial dedicated to the past magnates. Nobody was certain what they were doing there, and the party decided to investigate it later. And so they went to give Alice their aid. After helping out Alice, Alice informed the party that she has a plan to close the ghost portal. And in order to do so, she said simply closing it won't be enough. It needs to continuously be closed. And so she wants to make a magical item that can sustain itself, that would basically keep the portal sealed. And in order to make an item with that amount of power, she needs the soul of a phoenix. And that there is a powerful one in the region that she's been tracking that disappeared 100 years ago. And that she believes that Lethalia Nakart has its egg inside of a vault that Lethalia Nakart keeps all of her treasures in. Alice is not sure where that vault is or where the egg exactly is, and said if the party wants to help her to find the location of that vault using Anadelia, or if not Anadelia, Lethalia herself. And Alice was initially going to tell the party to get in there, grab the egg, and get out, but she does not trust the party to keep it together on a combat mission, mainly because of Johann and Father A's tensions with each other. Moving from there, the party investigated the Magnate's Memorial. They saw that Marcus's tomb was disturbed, but his body was still there, and that many people had come through the gravesite. They couldn't determine what Lorraine and Tatus were doing at the tomb, but they felt comfortable that Marcus's body hadn't been terribly disturbed, or hadn't been moved or resurrected or reanimated. And so they resealed his tomb and left the memorial. They went to look for Tatus and couldn't find him, and after that they decided to go to the keep to ask Anna some more questions about the material, the cold iron, and how it was used as a barrier for things. And on their way to talk to Anna inside of reverse. They went to talk to Alice, and this happened on the way to Alice. They saw that there was a procession when they went to help Alice. They saw there was a procession. The official queen of Ardor Sarai has returned. She is employed in... she is a lieutenant for Nazaran, so she has been overseas fighting the Archblight. She has just arrived back in the capital. It is Marcus's mom and Respis Bertolf's second wife, consort regent, Lieutenant Marlena Bertolf. The party met her briefly and wanted nothing to do with her. She has been out of the loop of Ardorian politics, and next to Ariana, she is the next most politically powerful figure in the country. Until Ariana remarries, Marlena still holds the title of Consort Regent, making her, essentially the queen. That said, the party went from, after looking for Tatis and not being able to find anything at Marcus's tomb, they went to talk to Anna. Having a terrifying discussion with Anna, they didn't get any more information about lycanthropes, but they found out that the Sage's Tower in the middle of Ardor Serai used to be a wizard's tower, and that was one of the reasons why people initially settled this region, was to settle around this wizard's tower. A lot of the information on it had been lost, though, over the years. And Anna also revealed... she was reading a book. It was called The Soulsrai and Soulsworn, Oaths Forgotten. And it talked about how the new culture developing in the south, the mercantile culture. And basically a anthropologist traveling through the region and talking with different nobles. And basically drawing pictures of them and discussing the people she met. In the book, the party saw a picture of a woman who appeared to look exactly like Lethalia Nakart, almost 120 years prior to the date, and the name next to the woman was Lyra Surreal. From there, the party kept talking and asked about the Phoenix Egg. And Anna showed them a picture in that book that she was actually reading, that the Phoenix used to roam around in Somar Villa, and gave the party its name. Its name was Tanellin, and it hasn't been seen in about 100 years. That said, from there, the party departed to, I believe the decision was to go talk to Ariana. And before everybody left, Anna Estelle, the Sage of Ardor Serai, pulled Father Anderson aside and told him that basically the information he was keeping hidden was information that everybody needs to know, and that Marcus's mother deserves at least to know that Father Anderson killed Marcus and how he died. And then she let him go. And and right before that event, Oro started got bored with the conversation and started asking Anna questions. Basically asking about how old Anna is and how she came across all the knowledge she knows, and also trying to dig under what's under the surface of her, as once again there's that rumor circling around the palace that she is a terrifying individual. We are going to pick up on the evening of the 9th of Hunter. The party is in the city of Ardor Serai, or the city of Ardor, in the keep of Southpel on the south side of town, leaving the library wing, and I believe the intention was to go talk to Ariana.
I think we were going to go talk to Anadelia.
Oh, Anadelia?
Because we need to go into her family's stuff.
Oh, yeah, you need to discuss with Anadelia.
I mean, I'd like to go talk to Ariana. Just be like, hey, both your moms are coming.
Yeah, that is something that is going to happen. So the party is all together right now. You're right. You are going to speak to High Councilwoman Anadelia Surreal Renopaw about the vault. that you need to get the Phoenix egg from. Here we go. Surreal rental pause. Boom. So yeah, Father Anderson rejoins the party. I'm assuming looking rather shaken.
I show my normal calm and resolve. All of the panic's on the inside.
Just like the pain.
Yeah.
No, I'm... Nah, not gonna do it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, going through the castle, looking for Anadelia. The party is actually not going to be able to find her here for the first few minutes of searching.
Does Marrow... No, I was going to say, does Marrow recognize anybody, but he wouldn't recognize very many people.
Yeah, definitely not here.
Yeah, no, Marrow wouldn't. He doesn't live here.
Simply asking around. You guys are going. The party. I have to stop using that because this is no longer brothers in arms. This is people in arms. Yeah. Yeah. The party is going to just be informed by servants. And more specifically, actually, let's give you guys her squire. After not being able to find her, her squire is going to tell you... Thas is going to tell you that the High Councilwoman is in her office in the Palace District in the League of States quarters. Since she is going to be in War Councils all tomorrow, she is dealing with her the affairs she has to take care of for the city, as she is still a councilwoman on several other councils. She advises the magnate, but she has other responsibilities. And we can roleplay that moment out if you would like, but yeah, I'm just saving you guys time.
Yeah, I think we don't really need to.
Mm-hmm. Where is she? Where is she?
Where is he? that is way deeper than that. Man, oh, damn it. Let me give me...
Alright, so your options, you can continue to look around South Pell. You can prepare for the 10th, or you can try and go find Anadelia in the Palace District.
I want to go to the Palace District.
Alright, what's the rest of the party want to do?
Is the Palace District where, for marketing reasons, just for, like, is that where Meat recommended Marrow to go for anything that he needs to do for formal reasons? I can't remember.
Meat...
Like, is the shopping district there at the Palace?
The city proper is going to be where most of the shopping's done. Aline is going to be where most of the trading is done. The Palace District is mostly where nobility lives and where the chantries of the 2 out of the 4 ascended are at, and then where most of the offices are for the councils. All 4 of these buildings are council offices. Gosh. And then, let's see. And Mara would be familiar with this from studying the map. And you can't see it because I've... Oh, you can see it on the other map, though. Those two buildings I circled there are both the chantries.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I can go with Octavia then.
Okay. Father A and Johan, what do you want to do?
Why do I have to speak for Johan? I don't like that fucker.
Well, he's gonna follow you around because if you don't...
So that's the price I have to pay for also living with his player?
No, because if he doesn't follow you around, you're gonna kill people without him. Yes,
just because I might commit a violent crime when I'm left alone doesn't mean I need a babysitter.
I'd like to point out the fact that Johan's more worried about Father A than something that his group would hunt down if they knew what he was.
Yeah, well, you know, how many people have you killed?
I cannot confirm or deny the number.
I've killed at least 5 people. 4 of which he knows about.
Yeah. The
important thing is how important were they? Because I've killed probably more than 5.
I mean, I killed the most important person.
Hey, it's not a contest. It's actually not a contest.
No one knows that, right? No one knows that you killed him.
Oda knows! And it hurts me. Anyways, I mostly wanted to be like stop in and just like give Ariana the heads up because I feel like her 2 moms are just gonna kind of barge in. Well, Ayla's probably just kind of appears. Marlena seems like a barger.
Okay, so...
But other than that, I go to the Palace District, because, you know, that's what we gotta do, so...
Okay, does the party want to wait on Father A? Like, you guys start heading out of the keep, and you guys see Father A climbing higher into the keep. Johan is gonna, like, look at the party and say, I gotta go check on him. He shouldn't be left alone. And Johan's gonna start, hobbling off.
Alright.
I like this. He slows me down.
At least with Meryl I can keep up.
He's a dwarf. He's got 25 walking speed. I've got 45. My God.
He's also...
Move faster if I just picked him up.
Yeah, he's also like, I think 120 years older than you.
Is Johan old? Are you old?
Johan's not old, but dwarves have like a lifespan of like 500 years.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he's not old for a dwarf, but I didn't think he was like old.
Let us see. Oh, he never put his age on there. Yeah, tell Jordan if he wants to message me that he can. Otherwise, I'm gonna pick it for him.
Okay.
I imagine Johan at about like at 180.
Basically, Mero's gonna just kind of stick nearby Octavia because he's kind of hesitant on leaving her on her own.
I don't need a babysitter either.
Yeah, more so than anyone else in this party.
See, we're adults.
Yeah, if anyone was if anyone was to be left alone and like not come back with a body or something, just like, oh my God, where'd you get that? I trust Octavia and Johan the most.
Why me? Why not?
You know who needs a babysitter? Weston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what's sad about that statement? He has one.
Alright, so Weston, Oro, Octavia, and Mero are gonna head to the Palace District. Johan and Father A head up to see Ariana.
Yeah.
Okay. So, going to the top of actually this is how we will roll with it. If you're still there, Josh, what we talked about earlier. So, headed up to the top of South Pell. Father A is going to come to Ariana's personal chambers. There are going to be several artisans out here waiting, and there's going to be that chef standing here keeping watch at the door, and he is going to have just a mean expression on his face as Father A and Johan head in to walk into the door. And Rob hasn't experienced this character before. He's going to stand up and say, "No, you can't go in." Putting up a forceful hand in front of you.
You should feel very thankful that this is not my home and I have my babysitter with me. One good reason why I can't see my magnate.
As you say that, he's going to say, she's only letting in 3 artisans at a time.
I may be a little Magian, but I'm not an artisan. I'm a knight.
He's gonna puff up his chest and say, "Orders are orders." Johan is gonna say, "You're doing great," and he's gonna walk in around him.
Stupid dwarf in its low center of gravity. Well, whatever. If the dwarf can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna the whole time too, I'm gonna look this dude in the eye. Like, I'm gonna walk around him, look him in the eye, open the door, looking him in the eye, and then I'm just gonna walk in, and I'm not breaking eye contact. I want him to know who the alpha is.
As you walk in around him, these other artisans who have been sitting here.
Isn't the same guy that was outside?
Yes, it was.
The same guy.
Is the one who Mero's just said, "You should be more forceful."
Did he learn nothing?
He's gotten better.
He was forceful.
He's gotten better.
He just wasn't ready wasn't ready.
And as
the Terror Twins.
As Johan and Father A walk in, a couple of the artisans are gonna look at this guy and he doesn't even have a sword. Who? And they're gonna kind of look at each other and start murmuring, and then about 7 of them are going to file in behind you, and he's gonna just be like, you guys. Inside the room, Ariana is looking much more composed. She's actually in her magnate's dress and robes. As opposed to when you guys saw her earlier today and she was in her bed garments. There are 3 people standing on oof, I'm getting some feedback from somebody. Josh, there you go. Boom. Oh. I'm gonna, well, actually, no, you're gonna be talking right now, so I'm not gonna turn you down. Alright, there are going to be 3 people on the side of the room. Each standing having various tools inside of their hands and ledgers. And the first of which you're going to see is going to be a female. She's dressed in armor. She has brown hair and standing. She's standing taller than these other 2 figures here. She has a large greatsword on her back. Just looking at the ornate decorations on it, you guys can tell it is an oath blade. She has a ledger in her hand with several things written on it. The next person in this room is also someone else who looks almost kind of like a knight too. He wears a oath blade on his left, and he's wearing a similar make of armor, but he is also a dwarf instead of a human. There is a huge height disparity between them. The third person in this room Go ahead and give us a description of what Rael looks like, if I said that correctly. Rael. Are you there, Josh? Alright, Josh is dead. I will describe him for you.
Okay.
Rael is a lean Ilderon with pale skin, shoulder-length hair, green eyes speckled with gold. His clothes are the finest weave, white shirt, high collar, purple vest, and black trousers, and carries a short sword, dagger, and component pouch on his waist.
This motherfucker's fabulous.
I know.
Hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Oh, your mic sounds beautiful.
Microphone, and then it didn't activate when I spoke.
Okay. Yeah, so I just read the description you had of him. Was there any additional details you wanted to add?
For me?
Yes. Real quick, Ramon, I see your comment that the chat is not loading, and I know exactly why it's not loading. It's not going to be something I can fix right now, but I'll make sure it's up for next session. But that's cool. I've got more real estate to work with over here. So Josh, was there anything else you wanted to add to Rael's description?
That covers it.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so as you guys step into this room, these three different merchants and artisans are standing on the side of the room, and bumbling in behind Father A and Johan are going to be the several others that ooh, that's not what I want. I want this one. Are going to be the several others that followed in behind you two, and they're going to immediately break this conversation. And one from behind Father A is going to say, "Your magnate, let me capture your image in battle." And another is going to say, "And portrait in the Grand Hall and the Grand Vestibule. It should commemorate your reign in the new castle." And several more are just going to be calling towards her, you know, just to get her favor and get her attention. Ariana, who is sitting down, looks like she does not have time for any of this.
I'm gonna turn to the entourage I accidentally allowed in here by breaking the spirit of that man at the door.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put a hand up. I'm going to close that hand. And I'm going to firmly, with my inside voice, tell them to shut it and leave.
All right, roll me an intimidation check. I will.
That's not good. That's a charisma check.
I will. It is a charisma check, but I will allow you to use a. I will allow you to add your proficiency bonus to it, as you are using your fists to make it.
Joke's on you. I am already proficient in intimidation.
Oh, well, there you go. All right.
Well, that didn't work.
Yeah, as you put up your hand and you're telling everybody to leave.
Should have used my outdoor voice.
Yeah. One's gonna call at you and say, "Can it, old man?"
I made the wrong choice.
I looks annoyed.
Ariana has like her hand buried in her palm, and she's gonna say, "Look, I understand tomorrow's a big day for our country, and I can promise you we will prevail through this ghost storm. Any images, anything you want to capture of me will be after the day's events, but I need to prepare for it." People don't stop asking questions or talking over each other.
Thaumaturgy.
Mm-hmm.
can't say anything. Here.
I already said my piece. So, like, do I have permission to get violent?
And start punching people? I will allow you to roll me 3 grapple checks of just getting handsy with people. And I will contest them with d20s minus 4 on each of them as they're just commoners.
So, just athletics checks?
Yeah.
Here's my question. Would Johan be helping him with this or no?
Yeah. You can roll them with advantages. Johan will help you. Well, it doesn't matter. You beat all 3 of them. So yeah, you're gonna get handsy with some of these artisans, and just start like throwing this rowdy bunch like out of here until there's just the 2 knights and that foreign-looking merchant left that was already standing in the room. And as you throw like each one into the hallway, the chef, who has been promoted to a guard, is going to be like, "Yeah, that's what I said. Stay out."
I'm just gonna glare at him
and say, "Do a better job."
Okay, here's the thing. Meryl is the one who taught him one lesson on how to be intimidating, and he's improved significantly since then. Before, he could not even speak one whole sentence. He can at least talk in a firm tone.
You can open a class on how to be SRG.
And then I'm going to return to the room after I have thrown all of the riffraff out the club.
All right. So,
to my boy Celebris. With his gauntlets of ogre power, I had this strength.
As you come back into the room, Ariana is going to be looking far more relieved and say, and she's going to say, "Look, I'll just need armor for tomorrow. I'll need armor for tomorrow, but I'll need my own full suit eventually. And I want an Oathblade. I need to start looking for a suitor." Thekelis and who's this other person? Velasis. Make it happen. And finally, she's going to look to Rael and say, "And I would like a statue commissioned in case I don't make it through tomorrow to go in the memorial."
Majesty. I'm sure it won't be needed.
And she's going to nod and say, "Actually, Father A, you and your companions were just who I was looking for. Oro knows my measurements. Perhaps you can take these."
Yeah, you do.
Does Father A light up at that?
No, everything's calm and composed.
I'm gonna roll.
The panic is on the inside.
I'm gonna roll Johan. How well?
Do I need to roll like a?
No.
See, he's not gonna be composed. Okay, cool.
He is.
Like I thought I was gonna have another Oro moment.
He's got a +5 to charisma, so he's fine. He keeps himself, and yeah. And she's going to say, "If I don't have the stamina for this today, if you could just lead them to Oro, he'll take care of it."
Yeah, I can handle that. I know where he's going. It's Weston that's hard to keep an eye on, not Oro.
She is gonna nod and then look at the artisans and Father A and say, and she's gonna say, "You're dismissed to follow him, but before you go, was there something that you needed?"
I simply wanted to inform you that Alice should be on her way. Oro let it slip about your condition.
No.
And I imagine that how would I refer to Marlena? Would be the...
I mean, her technical title is Consort Regent. Her other title is Stepmom.
Yeah, but I don't know if it would be appropriate to call her stepmom. And if I have the tact to care. I don't have the tact to care. Thanks, Brandon. And your stepmother is likely also on her way.
Ariana is going to say, Marlena is back in. Oh, gods! Anna told me that at the council meeting yesterday. My mind's been elsewhere. Was she properly greeted?
Oh god, would that be by us?
Father A doesn't know. There was a procession there.
I was like...
There were 2 high councilmen.
There was a procession at the palace. Councilman Phylanth and Councilwoman Tolls were there. She met with Jami.
And she is, Ariana is going to look northwards to the window, like, swiftly and say, I should have been there. And then she's going to glance at Tarum, giving him a hard stare. He's going to shrug and say, I keep you safe. I don't tell you what to do.
Now that I'll chuckle at.
Thank you.
And she's gonna stand and say, I've spent too much time cooped up in South Pell. That storm's attacked every day on 10th day for the past 2 weeks. I need to let the people see my face today. Or at least what's left of it.
We were to be headed to the Palace District to speak to Anadelia. If you wish, I can escort you there, along with the artisans.
Ariana is going to shake her head and say no. If Alis is coming here with news and Marlena's on her way here too, I'm not going to avoid them a second time. I'll hear each of them out and then I'll make a final round through the town tonight and try and raise spirits. Oh, that's such a poor choice of words.
Oh, yes, this reminds me. Alis provided with me scrolls designed to help protect against the possession. I can use them myself to help anybody in South Pell, but it felt like it'd be better to leave them in case for some reason I am not here tomorrow morning.
She is going to nod and say, I know Councilwoman Surreal's wife is a cleric of sorts.
It's not very complicated magic. I'm sure she'd be perfectly capable.
And Ariana nods and says,
is Raichi even in there?
No, that's what I was going to say. Ariana nods and says, but the councilwoman sent her away.
Yes, I forgot.
She's going to say, I'm never inquired if Councilwoman Estelle knows any magic, but if so, I'll just give them to her and let her distribute them as needed or cast them on individuals.
I fully intend to be present. Your safety is technically my job. Regardless of personal feelings. But, like I said, it was more I wanted to make sure the resources were here. Should something come up.
How many scrolls? And she, well, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, she'll ask how many scrolls. And she'll look to, she'll gesture for one, and then she'll point to the artisans in the room and say, Velasquez is going to forge my oath blade for me. I have not nearly the time to do it in the ways of old. And Thecalis is going to forge a suit of armor for me. Hopefully that I can wade into battle a little more often than normal. everybody in the room is going to kind of pick up that Ariana is like holding something back. Like, you guys have seen her wield a sword before, and there has been a civil war literally on your doorstep. But, you know, she was a commander in the whole thing. You know, you've never seen her gung-ho for the front lines.
Why do you seem so intent on fighting?
And just like before, yeah, she's definitely holding something back, and she's just gonna say, no particular change. Our nation's in trouble. They need to see that their leader's strong.
Can you please not lie to me? Given that knowing things helps me and Taram, Johan, and literally every person in this room protect you.
Johan is going to assist you and say, yes, we've served you through things that have made me question my own morality. Don't hold back from us. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Yay!
I'll give you a DC to beat. 13.
Oh god, no, it's so much.
I know, because you have like a -2 in it, don't you?
I do. And we didn't get there.
You were close.
And...
I did. If I had just a 0, I would have gotten there.
And Ariana is going to... And at any moment, Rael can speak up.
Doesn't Johan have some bullshit that adds stuff to my checks?
I have no idea what Johan's character does. I read people's characters when they tell me they're not going to be here for the session, so I know how to use them. I think
it might just be the saves.
Yeah, let's see. Aura of Courage is a charisma bonus to saves, and you can't be frightened. Aura of the Guardian, I don't know what this does. When a creature within 10 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to magically take that damage. Aura of Protection, Defense, Stone Cunning.
No, that doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah, he does not.
Damn it. Stupid Jordan, making me have to do the persuasion checks.
Your Majesty, if there's anything we can help with, they look like a fine, capable bunch of people, and I myself can help in many things. Please, if there's anything we can help with, do let us know.
She's going to nod and saying everybody in there, in the room, does their job here. My plans will go over as intended. And I need you to trust that I'm making the right decision for us and our country.
I don't believe I have a choice.
Mm-hmm. The whole time Ariana is talking, she has her hand over her stomach. Just kind of like a single hand placed there.
You represent a nation, and I know that you have to defend that, but you also have to defend not just yourself, but an entirely different person.
Aww.
And she's going to respond to that and say, and what I do and am going to do is for the good of that person.
Well, then it'll simply be my job to make sure that you live to see the end of it.
And she's going to nod and say, thank you. That's why you're in my service and why I trust you.
Alright. We need to go track down Oro before the rest of that bunch convince him to do something stupid.
Too late.
All right.
That's the thing. That's probably accurate.
The problem is that's why Marrow's staying back.
I don't want to do anything stupid. I want to do something fun.
As you guys are walking out, the artisans join behind Father A and Johann. A second dwarf joins the party. Dun dun dun.
I don't like this. He's
They're
gonna betray me.
multiplying. Or wait, they're additioning.
Well, it is multiplying. You doubled them.
That's
Also
fair.
1 + 1.
Yeah, so as they are walking behind you, the woman with the greatsword, Velasquez, is going to say, well, of course, they're not nobility. So, well, no, actually she is. She's a knight, and the other one is too. They are nobility. So they would bow. Oh, well, yeah, still, Ariana's the magnate, miles above them. They would both bow before leaving her presence, following behind each of you. In the hallway, as you guys shuffle past the artisans, Velasquez is going to speak up and say, you mentioned the magnate's condition? What condition is she inflicted with?
It is not my position to talk about the magnate's personal business. Just know that she is not sick. She is perfectly well.
The dwarf lets out a chuckle and says, the child's got a death wish. Hopefully, whatever armor I craft for her will save her from the edge.
Did she mention why she wants armor? Did she mention any specifics?
They're going to roll insight checks. Oh, I didn't designate which one was which. The first is going to be for Thee, and the second one is going to be for Val. The woman is going to shrug and say, she contacted my guild to commission an Oathblade. I don't know what's going through her mind, but every young maiden needs a sword sworn to her, and Thee is going to add in and say, he's going to say, the way she talked, the way the meeting went, it almost seemed that an injury to her was imminent, and not avoidable. And the type of armor she wanted for me was something that could stop it from being fatal. And I'm going to roll one more insight check for both of them with their collected information. And Vol is going to shrug again, and she's going to say, the way it sounds, our country's in hard times and the girl is stressed. I bet she just wants to get stabbed on the battlefield so she can hide the next month away healing.
I highly doubt that's the case. Though... I have one other.
Thea is going to add to it and say she's yellow in the nose. She got lucky calling the star and became magnate. She's the leader of this country, but she doesn't know true battle. She doesn't know true commanding.
I'm so tired of hearing about how young and green our magnate is, when none of you seem to know anything.
God, how unpleasant. Fiscalis is going to say, "Excuse me, I am a respected knight of this country. I've fought on it for every battlefield across the world." And Volasis is going to say, "When the ways of old were abandoned, I've taken up the mantle to craft every oath blade for every magnate for the past 25 years. I will not be insulted by you."
Then you'll know that the last two you crafted belong to her brother and father, respectively, and that both of them now rest in mausoleums.
The Scalus is going to look to Rael and say, "Hey, Dorai, you and I have done business before. When you get the measurements for your statue, bring them by my shop in the city proper. I will not stand here for this." Looking Father A up and then down and then turning down a different hallway.
Yeah.
And
I will bow slightly and smirk.
And Volasis is gonna say something similar of just like, "Master Knight, you are new to your station, and I hope that you'll look at the others who have more experience in this area with some form of respect. Someday we'll have to fight alongside one another, together in arms. Let's hope that we stand together." And she'll look to Rael and say, "Please do the same for me." Did Father A want to say something to her? Because, you know, she'll, like, stop and look at you.
Well, if you fight as well as you disrespect your magnate, then I might not meet the gatekeeper afterwards.
She is just gonna, like, let out a... and, like, nod politely, the lowest respect owed to your station, and then turn and leave also. You have one more person to run away, Rob.
Well, that's the guy that's supposed to join the party.
Yeah. Anyways, I didn't plan for either of them to leave now, but...
Yeah, well, you know.
So anyways...
People disrespecting my girl.
It's now...
brother for nothing.
Yeah, it is now Johan, Rael, and Father A walking through the halls.
Artisans still there in the hallway? The 7 of them?
Say it again? Oh, the other artisans? No, you guys have been following Father A as he's been departing the keep. You passed by them. Johan's going to say to Rael and say, "So, what's your name?"
And is Rael Caltris.
Pleasure to meet you.
Tell me, is it always that informal with the magnate? I was somewhat surprised.
I probably need to work on my formality around her.
Mm-hmm.
As I've been recently told, I'm new at this.
Johan is going to speak up and say she's going through some things right now.
Her condition.
Like I said, it's not my business to talk about the magnate's personal things. I can tell you that she's not sick and is otherwise healthy.
You were to take me to this Oro?
Yes. Provided my outburst hasn't scared you off, I'll gladly take you to Oro.
Those two are stuffy old bastards, I wouldn't worry about them.
Good. I just don't take it kindly when people show such disrespect to their leader.
The loyalty is admirable.
It's just like they act like the fact she hasn't been on the... Would this Earth apply? No.
Earth is fair.
Try this realm. This realm.
They act like she hasn't been around for more than 20 years, so it doesn't matter what she's been through. The fact
Have
she
you been in the
hasn't
magnetic
cracked
service?
yet after losing literally almost every member of her family. And then watching this nation crumble around it is astounding.
Have you been in the magnate service for?
4 weeks.
Well,
It hasn't been
hide
that
to
long.
surprise.
Well, I personally have only been a knight for a little over a month, but
I see.
some information. I was responsible for shipping her out of this nation around the time when her father became magnate.
Really holds you in high esteem.
I don't know why.
Yeah, Johan's gonna add in and say, I really don't know why.
So you make statues?
Not personally. In fact, right now I need to go find a statue maker. Do you know of any?
I know a person who knows things. As helpful as that may be.
I'm just someone who can get things done, and I heard the magnate needed a statue, so I'm getting a statue done.
I know a blacksmith of sorts, which doesn't help for statues, but she should know somebody. You know, as long as the coin is there.
Definitely there. Any introductions will be useful, but I'm keen to meet this Oro fellow.
Yes, we'll deal with him first. It's more official business. Doesn't matter if I find you a statue maker if you don't have the measurements.
And when you say introductions, Johan's gonna speak up and say, but of course, I'm Johan Ilderon, Knight, unofficially, of the Magnate.
Officially?
He's gonna scratch his head and say, my title hasn't been reinstated yet.
Instated.
It's a long
I'm sure there's a story there.
story.
And he's going to speak up and say, not really as long as you think, and he'd look up to Father A and say, if this one wouldn't have been killing innocents, I wouldn't have had to stop him. But betrayal is still betrayal.
Out of character, is Marrow's title official yet or no?
Yes, you are. Okay. You are a sole sworn of High Councilwoman Anadelia Surreal in service of the Magnate. You have a title of nobility through her.
Okay, so mine's official, but Jordan's not yet.
Jordan
he committed a crime.
Yeah, Ariana took away his title.
Gotcha.
The basketball.
Which it's better to lose your land and title than spend years in jail.
Yeah.
Octavia doesn't believe in titles.
Yeah.
Neither does Marrow, and he doesn't even want.
Big on material possessions and titles. Even though
I was just asking just because, for clarity's sake, wait, does Marrow has his official yet or no?
That's something to figure. Wait, are all of our titles unofficial? Not bad too.
It's just no, I just needed to, for reference, can Marrow actually use that for weight for something?
Okay. Father A is the only party member left with a claim to land. And his land is sitting out in Kalu Village, undeveloped, unused, just sitting there.
Well, I threw that land deed back in Shosinus' face. By the way, is he alive? Because I need to fix that if it's not.
Okay, let's handle one problem at a time, though.
Alright,
Anyways.
Yeah, did Father A want to introduce himself
introduction. Father Alexander Anderson, Knight Magnate.
All right.
Wait, I see.
Oh,
I'm not throwing out all the other titles. There's so many titles. For a man that doesn't like them, I have so many.
did you want to say one last thing, Josh?
Officially, I see.
Yes.
Johan rolls a nat 20 on hiding resentment.
Good man.
Anyways, yeah, so you guys are able to leave South Bell and head towards the rest of the party. The rest of the party.
Hi, rest of the party.
All right. The rest of the party is heading towards the offices of the League of State. Do I want to give you guys the ability to roll an event die right here? This backfires on me every single time. Who wants to roll me a flat d20?
I got it!
No,
not Rob. This is either Octavia or yeah, Mero.
I can roll.
I think it's because they're involved, but I like to think it's because he already sees what I do with them.
I can roll unless Octavia would rather roll.
I can roll.
Okay, roll it for me, B.
Wait.
1 space or /R space 1d20.
One what?
Or /R space 1d20.
Okay. 19.
19. What a wonderful roll.
Oh.
Right? No, don't worry. No matter what his reaction, you would have felt like it was a bad thing.
Yeah.
No.
Well, no. I look at mine
and then that happens. I accuse him of trying to understate terrible reactions, and then he gets indignant.
Wow. Okay.
Anyways, I have no idea why I have Roman's paperwork out here. Okay, so on your way to, you guys aren't going to have much of a problem heading into the council chambers, but you guys already know. Well, no, this set of the party doesn't know.
Councilwoman Kiev?
No. This set of the party doesn't know this person, but the party knows who is in charge of security of this building. As you guys get here... I
didn't even know where we were going.
Yeah. Oro knows where the League of State building is, and he will lead you guys there. So, the building you were headed to, the way Arter Sarai, and let's go with some more cheerful music, because, why is this so depressing? There we go. Anyways, the way Arter Sarai works is, the Magnate is the, sovereign ruler of the, country, who, the only authority over, her is, the 4 ascended gods, and whatever their commands might be. But that said, there are still a lot of, minor things that need to be taken care of in the country that the Magnate can't see to, directly. And so a lot of individual councils have sprung up over the years that manage those smaller things. So there are, there's the military council that just basically handles like the land dedicated to fortresses, logistics, and like the bookkeeping of the military. There's the Council of Currency that handles, you know, how Arter trades with the Ruby Alliance, and then uses sea coins and other things inside the nation. And there are, you know, perhaps like 24 of these councils. And there's a couple more that we have already rolled up, but I don't have my Arter folder open. But anyways, in the way these councils are divided is there are about 5 of these councils each together make up a league of councils. And these different leagues would basically be like the different congressional houses of legislators inside the country. So the leagues each have their own buildings dedicated to what they are in charge of. So the one specifically that you are headed to is the League of State and the offices inside there for the different council members. And you are headed to see Anadelia. Anadelia, Ardor doesn't really care about its laws that much. So one member can be a part of several different councils. So Anadelia is on the High Council as an advisor to the Magnate. She is also on the Security Council, advising and managing Ardor's defense. And she is on one more council relating to the League of State. I don't remember what that one is. But anyways, that is where you're headed. You're headed to the building that she has to vote in for her council votes. That is different from her personal keep where she lives. She lives there. She works here. And when she's on the High Council, she also works there. Is basically what's going on. So you guys right now are making this path right here through the city. Is where you're headed. Anyways, all of that to say, you guys are going to get to the... Oro is going to lead you to the League of States building, and the council is going to be out of session as you guys come to this large rectangular building with these offshooting townhouse size offices on the second floor of this building. And this is going to dominate most of this section of the city, as there are going to be enough offices in this building for the 50 different counselors that make up these councilmen, councilwomen, council people that make up this the League of State. And as you guys step into this building, you're going to be able to see the amphitheater in the back is empty, as the council's not in session. But standing at the door is always going to be a servant to advise anybody who needs to meet with a counselor. And walking in, when you guys got here, a multitude of these windows are going to be lit up with either candle flame or torch flame in the night. Signaling that there are people still working in this building late. Standing for you is a man in full armor, and throughout his armor, it is gilded in gold, and the edges of it are gilded in gold, and he has short, dirty blonde hair. And as Oro leads you guys into this building, he is going to step forward past the scribe at the front to Oro with a large smile on his face and say, "Oro! I didn't expect to see you back in the capital so soon." Gesturing for a handshake for him. Oro's going to avoid the handshake and kind of take a fist to his shoulder. To the man's shoulder, and the man does the same to Oro as they dance around each other for a second in a familiar greeting. He's going to look back at Mero and Octavia and say, Shosinist, let me introduce you to my sister and knight that we picked up in service to the Magnate. And he's going to say, this is my sister Octavia, and this is Mero. Lord Mero Esterai. This is Shosinist. He's in charge of security in this building. Shosinist walks up to each of you guys, giving you a much more formal greeting. A handshake to Octavia, and to Mero he will bow, respecting your nobility.
Mero will nod slowly, but remain silent.
I groan, and he bows.
And just Meryl will just reply saying, "Titles are just people saying who has the biggest stick. I don't like fetch."
Because he's a dope.
Fair. And he's gonna like point, like he's gonna look at Oro and then look to like point at Meryl and say, "I like him. Where'd you get him?"
The pound.
Oh, wow! Oh boy.
I'm sorry.
Octavia touches his armor and says, "This is amazing. Where did you get it? Can I have one?"
The armor. He's actually going to flex for you in it. The links of it just kind of like chinking against each other. Making a little bit of sound. And he's gonna say, "I've got my contacts in the city, but I feel like my armor should reflect me. I spared."
Is there any silver there?
Say it again. Silver? No. It's
okay.
Gold and steel. And he's gonna say, "I spared no coin on it. No limits."
Octavia flutters her eyelashes and says, "It's so pretty. Do you think I could get one? Or lighter one in the same color? I can use persuasion."
Yeah, you can roll me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Oh boy. And this is why I have to be here.
17.
As you say that, he's gonna just be kind of ponderous and say, "Well, I mean, I guess I can let you show you how it's made or put on, but most plate mail's made custom. So if you want to get fitted for some, I can assist with that. Give the measurements to my personal smith."
Fair warning, change in size costs extra.
Oro is going to step in and say, "We're here for business."
And Octavia is going to push him and say, "There's nothing wrong with mixing business with pleasure. Don't be a bore."
And he's Oro is going to just he's gonna roll his eyes and say, "Fine."
Wait. Aren't you the master at that?
Damn.
Wait. Say that one more time. I didn't catch it.
She's going to say, "There's nothing wrong in mixing business with some pleasure. Weren't you the master at that? Wink, wink."
And he's
That's the one
I was
that
just gonna
KO,
cover
man.
his mouth and
Sheer cold.
keep him under his hood, just kind of no.
Oro is going to stand at perfect attention, no sweat, no anything, and respond and say, "While I was in Ariana's service, I can, without a doubt, assure you that I carried myself with the utmost of honor towards her and the task entrusted to me."
Entrusted.
Meryl's just gonna add it to that and just say, "I don't want to hear of your love story or who was panting more. I just to deal with what's going on."
Exactly. Where do I get an armor like this one?
Shosinus is going to pull out a charm from underneath his armor. He has it strung on a necklace. It is a pendant with a falcon on it, made of the same like steel with the gilded gold edges, along like the feathers of its wings and its beak and other things. And he is going to place it around your neck, and just say, like, as he places it around your neck, both hands still on the chain links of the necklace, like pulling you a little closer, and say, "How about you find me when you're through with your business?" And he's going to look back at Oro and say, "And Oro, you're gonna have to tell me some of these stories of your honor." And he's gonna say, sure, of course I will, as long as you don't sick your hound on me. Come on. And he's going to pull Octavia, like, out of his grip, gesturing for Mero to follow.
Bye.
As Mero walks past, he will grin, showing one canine fang, and walk past.
Okay. As you leave, Shosinus is going to say the pendant's name is Sarisung.
It's what?
Sarisung.
Sarisung.
Sisung. And as you are walking away, Oro is going to lean in and whisper and say, how well does he do this? Not well at all. And he's going to whisper and he's going to say, you need to watch yourself around Shosinus. He has contacts. They always dig and they're always asking questions, and they come and they go and say, please. I never know what his angle is, but he's fine. But his friends, people disappear around them.
Oh yeah, they do.
It's okay, I can take care of myself. You don't need to be so overprotective.
He's gonna nod and say, I don't doubt that. Yeah. I just want you to be equipped with all the knowledge.
Have you seen this pendant before?
He's gonna nod and say, yeah, he wore it back when we were training together all the time. I actually don't think I've seen him without it. And he's gonna shrug and say, I never asked him about it.
Why do you guys never ask anything? Aren't you curious and you want to know?
Oro is going to shake his head and say, no, we're knights. We're trained and we serve for a purpose. When we're commanded, we do.
The more information you have, the more prepared you are. Like now you know. Now you know the possibility of being a father. Now you know more things. You're welcome.
I was just going to say, caution has saved one's life more often than not. In fact, I saved them from caution.
And as you are walking, Mero, Oro is going to say, none of this knowledge has made me any happier since I've been here. And he's,
you know how I feel.
Yeah, and he's going to look at Octavia and say, I'm starting to think when they say ignorance is bliss, they really meant it.
Well, then it's time your bliss ended.
You said his bliss ended?
No, he said it's time your bliss ended.
Oh, time your bliss ended. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Oro's just gonna pout.
Then, like,
I like being happy.
She pulls his like sleeve like down so he's more level with her face, and like looks him in the eye. You need to know things. You need to find out more about the people around you. You can be so ignorant and blissful and just prancing around. And then she hits him on the forehead.
And yeah, as you do that, he's going to nod and say, maybe I'll try and connect with my squire a little bit more. And look around and notice that Weston is missing.
Oh my god, again?
Would I have noticed him when he left?
Weston
notice?
Weston is
Because-
trained in stealth. He is very hard to find.
I have a passive perception of 8.
Yeah, you would not have noticed him.
Get on your Roman Drake level.
Okay.
When we look around and he's not missing, it's like, okay, now we need to find him. You cannot have lost him again in, what, 3 days?
Yeah, Oro will like look at you guys and say, "Go talk to the councilwoman. I'll handle Weston."
We don't know the councilwoman.
No. We don't
Know
know.
this lady?
And Maro's just going to put a hand on Oro's shoulder before he leaves and says, "If you asked more questions, maybe you would know better places to look. Or you maybe wouldn't have lost him so often." And then just pat and kind of push him back behind him to, like, say go.
Octavia casts prestidigitation on him and makes him shine, like make his armor shine as he leaves. And then she turns to Mara and is like, "Do you know this councilwoman? Do you know where she's going?"
I've dealt with her a few times. Kiro, but nothing more than just ensuring a few things, inquiring family.
Okay, so we have 2 options. Either we go meet her. I've never seen her. I've never been here. I don't know what we're doing here. Or...
Octavia has seen her before. You've seen her. You've seen her once. When you met Maro, this was the woman. This was the woman that was in the chamber with him that knighted Maro. She left at the top of the day to come here, and you guys went about your business. So
okay, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you spoke to her early this morning. It is now the evening of the 9th.
Okay, so Octavia instead says, "We can either go talk to her, or we can turn into cats."
And Maro's just going to order.
What did you say? Wolf, I didn't catch that. Your mic.
I didn't hear either.
For what reason do we need to cats?
Do we need to have a reason? I cast polymorph.
Wait. Okay, and Maro's just going to be... I thought druids were the shifters.
Octavia casts polymorph on herself?
Yes.
Okay.
Maro, oh boy. Maro's going to pick up Octavia and sit her on his shoulder as he walks into the magistrate's office.
Okay. Now,
I'm not letting this happen.
Yeah, remember what I told you?
Yes.
You have the mental statistics of a cat right now. You do have the dexterity of a cat, so you can roll.
Yeah.
You can roll to avoid this grapple check if you want to. You can roll an acrobatics check, and it is 1d20 plus 2 if you want to avoid being grappled by Maro.
I want to avoid being grappled and sit on his head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just picking her up and sitting her on the shoulder. She'd probably just climb up on and then sit up on the head. Over his hood as well, so...
Yes.
Oh, wait. Or is she gonna pull the hood down and sit in there like it's a cradle?
No, she didn't sit on top of the hood. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so, Dr. Dog and Captavia... Go to
Strikes again!
Go to talk to Anadelia.
Can I still cast other things while I'm a cat?
No, you do not have the mental statistics or the ability.
I would be the only one who could do that if I shapeshift.
No, you wouldn't either. Well, you need to be level 18 as a.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you'll never get there.
Yeah, the reason why, because you have to make certain somatic components with your hands and certain verbal components with your mouth that have to reach certain oscillations and movements. When your limbs shift and your vocal box shifts, you're unable to hit those octaves or those things. So it's like you can try, like if you still know the spell, you can try, but you physically can't cast it. Of like, you know, being just like being restrained. If your hands were tied down, you can't do somatic components. If you don't have hands, you can't do hand gestures.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Fair enough, yeah.
Let's walk in with a cat on my head. A cat on a dog's head.
Alright, so before you guys walk in, I would just like to ask personally, well, the rest of the party's not going to be too terribly far behind you. But I would just like to ask personally, do you guys remember why you're here?
I have no idea.
We were here to ask about the Phoenix Egg Vault.
Okay, there you go. Amazing. Okay, so stepping into
It's a good thing that Marrow remembers.
Stepping into Anadelia's chamber, you guys are going to come as she is writing on her massive ledger. The door to her office that she shares with several other people is open. She is in the lobby area of it. It appears the other offices are empty. She has a candle lit at her desk, and she, you guys step in and see her, to see her write. Wait for a few moments. Look at, it appears she's reading something on her ledger, then write again. As you step into the doorway, she is going to look up, noticing Marrow and the cat. And she's going to put down her quill and say, "Where are the rest of the Magnate's Knights?"
Meow.
Marrow's going to reply, "They had some other message to deal, but they shall be here shortly." But I might as well start the question of, we have a plan for closing that portal.
And
where?
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And yeah, she's going to look very interested, stepping from around her desk. And she's would she have any beverages here? Yeah, she would have like a hot pot of tea that a servant left for her. And she's gonna pour herself a cup as she takes a break from writing, and she's gonna say, "This interests me." Looking at you.
Marrow's gonna passively kind of look out of the corner of his eye to see if he can recognize any of the things that she was writing in the book.
Is she not going to ask why he has a cut on his head?
There are levels of things you just don't question anymore. She just said, "Where's everybody else?" And then, you know, you just gotta let it go. But no. Marrow said something else that changed her mind off of that conversation. But anyways, looking at what she is
reading and writing.
Yeah, looking at what she's writing, you are going to get it's almost weird. So you can't see what she wrote as it's kind of disappeared. But you're almost certain, like in the flicker of the candlelight, you just saw words kind of like move across the page. And then just kind of fade like mist on the page. There's nothing on it.
And the book that she's reading from?
No, she's only has her ledger. It is her ledger. She wrote on it. She stopped to read it. And then she wrote again.
Okay.
The party knows Anadelia has a magical ledger. Nobody's really certain exactly how it functions. but Anadelia is a spy master. She is somehow able to use that to spy on people.
I want to jump and try to see what's in it.
Okay, you are working with Catavia Mental Statistics. You can move towards the ledger, like jumping off his head, and like as Catavia jumps down, Anadelia is going to and you jump on the desk. God, this is so. She's gonna roll a morality die because Anadelia loves animals, and she's going to put down her tea. And as you jump onto the desk, she's gonna put a hand on your head and like start petting Catavia. Just like that soft movement on the back of your head.
Okay, I forget. Does Anadelia know Maro's a shifter, or?
Yes,
yeah, she does. Okay.
She does.
Okay. Making sure about that. So Maro can be a little bit more lax around.
Yeah, and she's going to say, "Your clan's one of the last ones I expected to have a companion like this."
Maro just replies saying, "A life is a life. Companions help each other. Wolves are pack animals. Even when we wander, we always have a companion nearby. I've been lacking one, kind of searching, even if it's temporary. But what do you know of phoenix eggs?"
Anadelia is going to say, "I've bred and traded a couple. They're significantly rarer these days. Terrai kill them off like wildfire."
As many things they can. But do you have a egg or a clue of where possibly find such a creature? It could be of great use for the port.
Anadelia is gonna nod and say, "I can put out the word. To my ranch to obtain one and import it here. It might take a few weeks for it to come through the ports of Gwir and down the river, though."
I don't believe we have such time. And besides, with such a dangerous creature for such a dangerous circumstances, I'm sure someone of your position understands the discretion and secrecy needed for such a task.
I'm meowing, mimicking what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
I need to roll or anything? Or is it just happening?
Yeah. No, you're fine. Anadelia is gonna nod and say, "Well, I haven't the slightest idea where where a phoenix egg might be. They've been rare in this region for quite some time. If I acquire one, I'll let you." Yes, you can.
Say, where is that? That would be... shoot. There it is.
10.
I rolled poorly on that. I rolled so poorly on that.
So, Anadelia is Lethalia's right-hand woman. Most people see... I'm sorry. That's reverse. No, that's right. Anadelia is Lethalia's right-hand woman. And most people see Anadelia as a puppet of Lethalia Nakart. So it's reasonable to assume that if Lethalia is hiding things in some sort of secret treasure trove, Anadelia might not know about it.
I want to walk around the room to see if there's anything that I can see or read or...
Okay. Real quick, before you do, roll me an intelligence check with disadvantage.
Okay.
You know what? No, you don't have disadvantage on it. Roll me an intelligence check, but you are using your cat statistics on it for looking at the ledger. And just what information your brain's going to retain when you transform. You have a -4 to the check, so 1d20 -4.
Okay.
But it all looks like gibberish to Catavia.
Yeah. Wait.
Slash roll, not...
Yeah, /R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, slash R. It's okay.
And then...
18, so -4, 14.
14. Alright. That's a pretty good roll.
That is actually really good.
So, as you jump off the desk, you said you're looking around the room for what?
First, I wanted to look at the ledger thing, and then I wanted to look around to see if there was anything interesting or relevant, or like anything that would catch her attention. That she will like, I don't know, like anything relevant or interesting, or kind of hidden that she could see.
Okay, so you want to make a perception check?
Yeah.
All right.
Do I have better perception as a cat?
You do have perception.
21.
I
see sound. I see everything.
Yeah,
21.
yeah.
You see sound.
Actually, that check, you are trained in perception as a cat. You get +3 to it, so that's going to actually be a 23.
Yeah.
So you are going to like start just creeping across this room, and I mean every corner of it, every inch, like as you go looking, and Anadelia is just gonna kind of like look over at you. I'm trying to think of everything she has inside of here right now. Yeah, you're not going to pick up on any, like, seeing anything in here that catches your attention, that's like dastardly out of place. But you are going to pick up on the fragrances of Anadelia. Basically, she is always powdered and are always covered and a very flowery fragrance, as she sells livestock for a living. So you know, she always covers her aroma. And you are going to pick up just like as you go around this room in a circle, just looking for anything you can. And then you don't really find anything. You come back to the desk. Just moving next to Anadelia and getting back near her legs, brushing against them, you're going to pick up on a smell that is distinctly not hers. You're not able to...
What does it smell like?
You're not able to place it, but it definitely smells like the muss of a person. If anything, Anadelia's always been pleasant. Well, always. You've only met her once.
Yeah.
Has been pleasant to you in the time you've known her. This smells so counterintuitive to her fragrance, almost like the smell of grit or smoke or like hard labor. Something that would be very unfamiliar for a person of her lifestyle. And about this time, we're going to jump over to the rest of the party, because the rest of the party, the 3 new members, are going to be entering the League Estate. To save you guys time, I'm going to roll a percentage die of Oro and God. Weston is killing it. Oro and Shosinus have not found Weston yet, so Shosinus is away from the door. The party can talk to the scribe at the door and be led directly to Anadelia's chambers. Yeah, so at this point, like, as Catavia gets back to the desk, in the doorway, Father A, Johan, and a new member, Rael. It's gonna take me forever to get that. Oh, Rael. Are standing, rejoining the party. The scene before you, you see Anadelia leaned against a desk, a candle lit behind her, illuminating her form and the back corner of her office. 5 open doors, 3 on one side of the room, 2 on the other, and a lounge immediately to your left in the room, all dark. And you see Marrow facing her, and you see a cat stroking around the legs of Anadelia.
Would Marrow be able to pick up on this smell or no?
Not on his passive.
Okay. Well, Marrow would definitely passively notice the rest of the party coming here and turn towards them, noticing a new member, and then kind of covering his head a bit more. From just out of it.
So, like, I walk in, does, like, the scribe be like, here's Miss Cyril?
Yeah.
And then I see her, a cat, and Marrow.
Yes.
Yes. And then, as soon as the newest member comes in, Marrow starts becoming passive. Like, defensive.
Where is Oro and Weston?
Weston's gone astray, and Oro took it upon himself to hunt him. We've managed to convince him to try and bond better so this wouldn't happen again. Prior to this incident, I've already inquired about Phoenix.
Did you?
Claimed to know nothing. She claims she could get one in a couple of weeks, but I'm explaining to her the urgency of the matter. As you two walked in, and with a friend.
What's the name of that region that Aylis mentioned? Aradothia?
Arothea.
Arathea?
Or Arothea. Arothea.
Arothea. Did you mention the fact that we believe that there's one in Arothea?
I was trying to keep that as weight first, but no, not yet.
Trying to Marrow, I appreciate the subterfuge, but you're trying to outmaneuver a spy master.
Lyle blinks.
Yeah, and unless you like, I imagine you guys are having this conversation like discreetly.
I mean, I can word that better knowing that I have
Yeah, no, you're good.
Charisma, so this is good.
You're fine. Like, you guys are having, and Anadelia is just kind of like right there, and she's gonna say, and
my apologies.
And she's gonna say, and where might you acquired information that there's a phoenix egg in Arothea?
Aylis.
She's gonna roll her eyes and say, I hoped you'd be more hesitant to trust that witch.
Oh, I'm definitely hesitant to trust that witch, but...
A witch and a worm.
Asking about this information meant telling you about it, and I figured you might want to know. I have to at least play along to keep her sated.
And Anadelia is going to nod and say, and she's going to say, Don't ask about that place. Don't inquire about it. Don't ever question it. Don't think it. Don't think about it. It doesn't exist. That's all you need to know.
My head.
Marrow's going to walk closer and say, "You said the same about my place. Now tell me."
I'm inclined to drop it. The person that wants us to know, I don't trust.
Is Johan here?
Johan
Yes.
is here. Johan looks a little glazed
I
over.
head.
You can do so because he's tiny.
Yeah.
But
Johan.
no, I'm not trying to intimidate her. I'm just trying to say, "You said the same thing about me. That means I'm on the same level. That means I deserve to."
I don't think that's how this works. I too am a top secret, so I should know the other top secret. I feel like Marrow didn't mention that this was Aelis's plan involving the Phoenix Egg.
No, not that.
Some kind of information to know who you're dealing with.
Well, he doesn't know that it was exactly Aelis's plan.
We got it directly from her. We were in the room with
I
her.
was not in that room. I was with Meat reading the map before
well, that's my
meeting
bad for not telling you the plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, we
You
really
told
shit
me-
the bed on who was on the distribution of labor here.
Yeah, exactly.
You just told me the plan. You didn't tell me who came up with the plan.
Yeah.
Marrow automatically assumed that
None of
that
us
was
are
a
smart
group
enough to think
plan.
of Phoenix eggs.
Yeah.
At least you know there's a plan.
Alright. So,
Marrow also didn't realize that you and the dwarf didn't like each other.
I don't know how.
Because he's hardly interacted with you two at the same time.
Anyways. Yes, it's Aelis's plan. That's what she said. And I believe that she's going to make a move on, regardless what I tell you, what I get out of you.
she's going to nod and say, and she's going to say, "A secret for a secret."
I don't know what information I'd have to give you.
She smiles and says, "Plenty."
And Marrow say, "Is there a prison under here?"
We're not in the Sage's
What?
Town.
Yeah, you're
No,
not.
no, I meant. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
never
she's
mind. She doesn't say that.
yeah, I was gonna say she said no. So it's really, really quiet. And she's going to say that boy that you're traveling with has come to my attention. He had an uncle that went missing several years ago from Northwind. Do you know anything about it?
You talking about Weston?
She nods.
No. I hadn't known anything. I just know that he has a tendency to eavesdrop.
She
Do
nods.
either of you...
Oh, go ahead.
You know who knows? The cat. I'm almost positive the cat knows partially what Weston's been up to.
Anadelia is going to turn her attention to the cat at her
Oh,
feet.
I didn't say that out loud.
Oh, you don't?
I think
Okay.
it occurred to me that I was like... Because I was like, do you guys... I'm like, no, Mara wouldn't know. Does anybody... Oh. That's who knows.
Cat.
I turned back into a person.
Right underneath her?
Don't you have to wait for
Yeah,
the spell to
yeah.
end? Can she
I
end the
guess I can do
spell
whatever I
as a
want.
cat?
She can. It's concentration.
Yeah.
If Catavia thinks like she's looking at people go whoop 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 whoop, whoop, I'd really like to know what they're saying. Wait, I can do
Oh.
that, and then does.
Wait.
Oh, okay. So I'll
Wait,
be subtle about it. I'll be more subtle about it. It's like, Momero, you barely met Weston. Octavia might know more.
Meryl will, actually, I can do this. Where is,
So, Catavia
This is dramatic enough. I turn into a person.
Yeah, Catavia is going to transform into a person, and Anadelia is going to look offended. Like, how dare you tempt her with something she loves and turn it against her?
I went to tell her, aren't you the spy master? Shouldn't you know that I can do this? Hey. And don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and she's going to say,
but she's saying that in like a
playful
in a mean way. Yeah, like a playful way.
yeah, and she's going to say, it was my understanding Oro's family was from the backwater rivers out in the middle of nowhere, but it seems you possess more skills than were originally let to my attention, just like young Oro himself.
People can have magic in the middle of nowhere. It's not exclusive to cities.
And she is going to say, for underestimating you, I apologize. A mistake I will never do again.
I'm going to do a investigation check on that, just to see the intention, mostly the intention behind it. Insight, sorry.
Yeah.
Insight check. What's that? Better!
Insight? I mean, Anadelia is just as deadly as she is helpful. In the times when, I mean, it's easy to say there was respect in that comment, and with respect, also probably rivalry.
Okay.
Before, she wants to ask her, do you, wait. You are the spy master here, right?
Yeah, throw around the word spy master.
Yeah, yeah, she's going to look around and say, not officially.
Are you hiring?
Anadelia is going to
Real Keltris.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Anadelia is going to smile and say, always.
Mero's just gonna keep his hand over his face, still hiding his hood from the new party member, by the way. Still hiding it.
I find myself in the need of a new profession.
Anadelia is going to nod and say, and I can reward those who are loyal to me.
What? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
And she says, I can reward those who are loyal to me. Does nobility suit you?
Nobility?
She nods and says, a title, a claim, coin.
What she gave me to join you.
I care more about land than empty titles.
She nods and says, let's see how useful you can be. If you can do a simple task, then...
Well, that depends if you can give a simple order.
And she's going to go to her desk and pull out a messenger satchel. Inside, and she's going to give it to Octavia. It is a nice, large leather bag. Inside of it are probably about maybe 150 sheets of parchment. And she's going to say, get this in the hands of people who are important. It sells for a copper a piece, but I don't mind even if you have to give it away sometimes.
She looks at the paper that, like she takes it and looks at it. Like, what is it?
It
she's not
looks
asking.
like simple parchment.
Is there anything written on it? And Mero's going to take a look at it as well.
There is.
I pull it.
Okay.
Yeah, and she says, and she's going to say, Octavia, you and I can discuss its properties later. But for now, do that for me, and we'll see how well you can be in my service.
Just give it to important people.
She nods. And then...
I'm really tempted to just start giving it to people within this room.
I mean, I'm noble. I'm technically important.
And is she referring to Meryl in terms of on how he phrased that, or no?
What?
In terms of like never mind.
And she's going to say, and about this mess with the Phoenix egg. I was willing to trade information a secret for a secret, but if you can't trade for it, it's not anything that concerns you.
Meryl looks at the rest of the party, finally actually acknowledging the third member, and kind of is trying to give a facial expression of, we do have one thing. Like, should I say it?
What's
like,
the one thing? I mean, you can say it out of character. I don't know what the...
Out of character, the pregnancy.
She knows about that.
No.
Does she not know about it, or no?
That's who Manadelia knows. She not know?
Brandon? Or maybe I...
If your characters don't know if she knows or doesn't know, that's something you guys can ask her.
Oh, okay. That's all I need to know. I wasn't actually sure.
Yeah, man, I was just gonna look at the party like, should I say it?
There is like, no.
We need the... I've picked up sense that the magistrate... Is it the magistrate? Magnate. I was close. The magnate is... pregnant.
And okay, so that's gonna be something. Let's roll her a morality die, and thoughts are going to be flowing through Anadelia's head as she literally drops her cup of tea, and she is going to say, "What? By whom? For how long?"
We don't know.
I can confirm. I actually know because I did the
I was
check
gonna
myself.
say, Octavia,
we don't know
roll
by
me,
whom. We don't know by whom.
roll me a deception check.
Yeah, I can I cannot, but I can say that it is not. It is not long.
Roll me a deception check for Marrow, because Marrow also knows.
Marrow, what? Deception?
Yep, deception.
What did he lie about? Because I believe he said I can't tell you.
I cannot
But
say.
it doesn't
I cannot say who, but I can say for how long.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought he
I
said I
half-lie.
can't confirm.
Oh.
I cannot say who, but I can say how long. So I
mean-
gave half truth.
Go
Yeah,
ahead
it's
and
like, I
roll me
think
that.
the active.
Roll me that
I
deception
said we
check.
don't know.
Can I
we
roll it
do
with
it?
an advantage?
No, because you can
Okay.
tell her. You can just
Everything
say
one
oral.
of us doesn't know.
I don't know. I don't.
Man, you guys suck at lying.
Actually,
especially against the Spy
wait.
Master.
I'm gonna use my inspiration and re-roll.
Go ahead.
Oh wow.
13. All right. So Anadelia is.
Wait. Well, I also lie. Like, part of the thing is that sometimes I set things on fire. So a random book just starts burning.
Okay, I'll roll you.
I'm so surprised that Maro says that.
Okay, I'll roll you a percentage die.
Okay.
On what sets fire. Yeah, it's there's going to be like a smell of smoke in here, just like a tiny thing as you guys just see this little trail. And it's not like fire, it's like something singeing around.
Maro's gonna check himself.
Octavia, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah. But as this conversation goes on, Anadelia is going to say a secret for a secret. Who?
Oro.
And she nods and say, the place you're looking for is called Visidir. It's one of Lithelia's most kept secrets. It's a treasure trove of items she's collected over the years, but even more than items, people.
People.
Maro's gonna say, just simply say Ken. Questioning towards to Anadelia.
Anadelia shakes her head and says, everybody in this room's aware. And then she's gonna look back at Rael and say, who's that?
Rael Keltris. Artisan. I brought him because I needed to find Oro to get to get Ariana's measurements for a statue.
Artisan might not be the most accurate description, my lady. I'm just someone who can get things done.
Maro's going to look over and look at him finally in the eye and say, racist, with a question.
You gotta get way more specific, dog. There's like 8 different kinds of races in this world.
Yeah, she's gonna cut you off and say, in any case, if he's with you, he's a part of this venture. And Anadelia is going to say, I intend to use this information you've given me. In exchange, I'll offer you something equally as powerful. I'm loyal.
Octavius is going to leave.
Say it again?
Octavius is leaving the room and going to find Oro.
Okay. And,
Take Ryle with you, please. He needs Oro.
Huh?
Oh, I can wait.
mhm.
What?
Fine.
Maro is going to start smelling Rael, though, for any weakness and silver.
She is going to continue and say, I serve Lithelia with my mind, body, and soul entirely. There are things that happen to her that are out of her control. That said, I believe the position she's in, she's the best one to be in it. Some of the things she keeps in Visidir aren't essential to her. But if they get out, she shakes her head and says, this stays between us. If you just need the phoenix egg for that feather, Visidir is you find it in a cave south of the road of Somar Villa, southeast of the forest, off the road.
Do you have a map?
She shakes her head and says, I'll draw no such thing.
No, of just at least the layout and terrain of the region. That is all I need. I can find it on my own.
Yeah, and she's going to continue to describe it, and we'll give you guys enough of a description to notice it when you get there. And she's going to say, inside of Visidir. Those are not prisoners. Those are people granted mercy. You aren't to kill any of them.
Understood.
And
Is this where Johan makes a snippy comment as an NPC?
no, it isn't. And she's going to say, when the egg goes missing and Visidir's defenses are infiltrated, if anyone questions how you got this information, a man by the name of Nerenius gave it to you.
Do I? I'm gonna do a history check just to see that. See if I know the person.
Do I know Nerenius? I'm old and a criminal.
I believe Father A has met Nerenius before.
You know what? I'll give one of my favorite things ever, a history check.
Oh, wait, yeah, give me a history check. Actually, I'll give you a history check with advantage for Father A.
Oh, that's exciting.
Just because you probably have. Wolf, Mara would not have heard this name before. Father A is going to know, oh, Nerenius. He's part of the Ruby Shadow. However, he was a member added to the Ruby Shadow by Lethalia Nakart's recommendation. You're gonna know in your days of like running as a criminal that his loyalties were more so with her than the organization. Of just like, we need another person, we'll get Nerenius, but we prefer not to use him. That's why Fractus was more so the go-to contact.
That's why Galay is my girl.
But yeah, Nerenius has dipped out of town. He's been on the run. Specifically for, I believe he betrayed the Ruby Shadow. That was it. He betrayed the Ruby Shadow to help Group B. And yeah, Nerenius has been on the run, and Anadelia is going to say he is a coward, a betrayer already. One more slanderous accusation to his name won't be anything against the charges already against him.
Yeah, can do. Besides, I'm good at keeping secrets.
As for the majority.
And she is going to nod, picking up her ledger, and say, now I do have to go pay our magnate a visit. I hope that you'll take well to Council Oro and the coming responsibilities to him.
She's considering it a bastard. She does not want.
It is a bastard, by definition. Regardless, I'll, you know, do the whole old man mentory thing I'm apparently so good at.
The old lead the young.
Anadelia is going, like, her eyes are going to close. Head is going to go up with a huge smile across her face. And she's going to say, some days you just get everything you want. And she's going to look at Father A and say, really, anything you need, I owe you one favor. And she's going to...
I might have to trade you a different secret for what I need.
I mean, she's going to stop, like, gathering her things and look back at you and say, is there another reason you came? Separate from your companions?
But something's occurred to me. But I'd rather talk about it in private.
She waves her hand at Mero and Rael, who's the only ones left in the room.
Wouldn't Johan be here?
Oh yeah, I mean he's so short. Who notices him?
I walk out.
Yeah, Johan's gonna say, "I don't trust you alone in private."
Won't. Go find Oro. What?
He looks at you and says, 10 minutes, and I'm coming back. He bows respectfully to Anadelia and is gonna walk out.
Before Meryl leaves, he'll say, "If I don't see Kiro, tell her I'm helping close the portal, and that the material that she was worried about, I have reason to suspect there's more of it already forged where it was found."
All right. She's gonna nod. Does Meryl leave?
Meryl is the last one to leave and is very hesitant on doing so.
All right, and Rael. Josh, does Rael step out?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yes, I step out.
Okay, cool. No, I did not hear you until you just said that. All right. So once Father A and Anadelia are alone, she's going to say, I have to thank you for trusting Reyna in our care. Her and Rachia have formed quite a bond.
The Calican house was no place for her.
She nods.
To study or to nurture.
She nods and says, and we've decided we want a child of our own. But this situation with the magnate, it's perfect. I finally get something on that perfect little goody two-shoes to keep her in line.
Can you try and be gentle with her?
She and Anadelia nods and says, and she doesn't even want the child.
She says it reminds her of a part of her that's no longer around. I think she's just trying to live an ideal because of her station.
Anadelia nods and says, in any case, it will save Rachia and I the trouble of conception.
What did you say?
There's some... Because
in any case,
Reyna and an actual baby?
Yeah, she said in any case, it'll save Rachia and I the trouble of conception.
I'll have to keep looking into that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, I figured out my secret. I don't have to give the other secret. Go me. So, what I need is information on High Councilwoman Anna Estelle. She does things she shouldn't, and I want to know why.
And Anadelia is gonna nod and say, yeah, and it really doesn't make sense. I heard a report from the council meeting the day of the ghost storm. All the other council members died when the Sage's Tower collapsed, but Tarim, he's a legendary warrior. He shielded Ariana, used his magic to cradle her, and they survived the blast and the fall. But when the rebels settled, the only other person still standing in the fight still standing from the meeting was the Sage. I've heard stories about her circling around the castle. She scared off an entire order of the Sun Yeth.
Yeah, well, that's news to me. Oh, no, that's what okay, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the story Brandon said would only endear her to me.
And Anadelia is gonna say, I see her writings occasionally, as Anadelia puts a hand on her ledger. But other than that, I've gone to the diviners. I've tried my own methods. There's no way to scry on her. There's no way to divine on her. She's warded herself completely from that magic. Anything she touches cannot be identified. Can't be seen, can't be glimpsed.
That's interesting. And two separate authorities, though one of them is her. I've been told that kind of thing is divine in nature.
Anadelia shrugs and says, I've met people who've been able to block divination magic, particularly criminals. There's a amulet that's been popular that's able to do so. It takes some effort to craft, but it's not unheard of.
So she scared off an entire group of the Sun Yith. If it wasn't for her unsettling knowledge, it'd almost be endearing.
And she's going to nod and say, she's an elf, long-lived.
I don't know about that. But I can't definitively say that you're wrong.
Oh. Anadelia's gonna say when Lethalia was... I've asked Lethalia about her. When Lethalia was a young child, Anna was a elf in the region of at least 1,000 years of age.
1,000 years. 1,000 years. Wait a minute. She's 1,000 years old. Doesn't that put her... Doesn't that mean she predates that stupid tower?
Anadelia is going to say elves predate a lot of things in our world. Some predate history. It's just a shame that they can't remember it.
Yeah, I heard that. Oro got to asking questions. So is that all you know? That she's an old elf that scared off a group of Sun Yith and inexplicably survived the tower destruction?
She's gonna nod and say, I don't do too much digging as far as people's backgrounds and where they come from. I learn their motivations and what they want. And if they align with mine, then I let them be. Or if they don't get in the way of mine, I let them be. She wants knowledge. She spends all her time learning as much as she can.
Does she have any intent on using most of that knowledge?
Anadelia shakes her head and says no, she shares it freely with anyone who asks. When I investigated her, I determined she wasn't a threat. Besides, she's been an arter for hundreds of years. If she would if she wanted anything dangerous done to the country, or to the magnate, I wouldn't be surprised if she would have already enacted something. So at this point, it's safe to assume she's on our side.
I hope you're correct.
Anadelia is going to smile and say, I don't trust her. I just don't waste my effort plotting against her.
Well, she doesn't have anything on you, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll have to just keep digging a bit. Or I have to do something else. It's more painful. I do appreciate your insight, Annadelle. And if you get a chance, let, Raina know I said hi.
She nods, and she's gonna say a final thing. If you want to learn more about her, your key to do it is going to be a paladin. Every situation, every story I've heard investigating her past, I believe she carries some sort of heavy curse. Paladins can't stand to be in her presence.
It's interesting that you say that, because I don't... Can I make a history check? Because she doesn't seem to, like, retch or get weirded out by Johann's...
You can roll a history check.
It's like, I'd bring a paladin. I did! I did bring a paladin.
So, history on that, 26. Johann has... So you're going to know paladins have a way to just invade and just read the auras of people against their will. Every time you've been with Johann, he's been very respectful of using that ability around other people. He's never done that in her presence. You are going to know, just like thinking about every time, you did meet somebody who had a similar ability. And there was only one time you guys were in a room with Anna where someone used that ability, and you remember while a debate was happening, Lance opened up his senses in that way, and he was incapacitated for several moments. I think he was incapacitated for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's metagaming. I was gonna say Lance is useless in that in that regard.
Well, you are going to know Lance had that ability, and just like putting together every moment of just like, oh, okay. So yeah, Johann has never did that, but like it does make sense of just like, oh yeah, she does overwhelm senses.
I also just remembered something else. But now I have actionable information. Well, guess looks like I'm going to have to make nice with you.
Okay.
That's, yet again, thank you, Andadelia. Now you said scared off a, because I can't remember the actual word for a gaggle of Sunyeth.
Order.
An order of Sunyeth. Did she just intimidate them?
Anadelia is going to shrug and say, Respis had an inclination to the Ililnagian cultures and mores. When he was allowing that Temple of Darnthel to open inside the city, he was also entertaining a Temple of the Wills. That said, the Sunyeth bumped heads with the Chantries. Alshin was, in those times, hard to find. Anna was handling most of his business, and negotiations fell through with them. But the only ones who have the true story are Anna and the sage Alshindoris, who was Sage of Ardor at the time.
Of course, the only people that know are the people I don't want to ask.
The crazy man and the person you're investigating.
Well, I'll take this to heart and try not to poke the bear too much. I will talk to you later, Anadelia. Do remember to stay safe. Tomorrow is 10th day.
She nods and says, "My preparations are in place." And she's going to grab her ledger and say, "If you would, I'm going to finish up here. Tell Shosinus to send me an escort to take me back to South Bell."
Will do.
And she nods to you.
Yay, Shosin.
Alright, the rest of the party. Mero, Oro, or not Oro, Octavia, and, Johan.
Also, wow.
Yeah.
I left.
Yeah, looking around. Yeah, I know. We are switching to you guys. Rael isn't with you, but you're going to see him like jogging to catch up with you guys. As you step out into the Octavia's going to be the first one stepping out, looking for Oro. Let's roll this percentage die again for if they are successful, and that is Weston's. Oh, Shosinus with the nat 20. So Octavia is going to come out with is going to come back into the amphitheater chamber, the council chambers where all of the where the councils would meet and debate, in like this open theater. And as you step out into this large open lobby, you're going to see coming down the opposite hall from you. On the other side of this lobby, Oro is walking next to Weston, who is being held by the collar of Shosinus, or who Shosinus is holding by the collar in his gauntleted fists, just holding his clothes. And Weston is like stumbling to walk as he's almost being lifted off his feet, and just like the tips of his toes are touching the ground. Behind you is going to be Mero in the distance, and then followed by Rael. Rael? Go ahead.
I'm like super pissed about what just happened inside that room. So when I see Oro and Weston and the other guy, I like walk very fast towards them and like grab Weston by like his collar and pull him a little bit down until he's level with me.
Okay.
And I tell him, we can be friends, or you can run away one more time, and then I'm going to be the one that's going to come looking for you.
You know what? It's gonna have impact, but magnitude of impact? Roll me an intimidation check.
Okay. 22.
And Weston is going to, like, and he's gonna just, like, swallow a lump in his throat and say, "Yes, ma'am."
And Mero's gonna walk up behind it and sing, "The Hunting Dog." Just kind of following up, like, a nagging track.
Did Octavia want to say something else?
She's going to turn around and point at Mero and be like, "You don't get to talk." And then I'm going to pull Oro, like, tell him we have to There's something I need to tell you now.
Oro is going to look like at Shosinus and say, watch him. And he's going to look at Octavia and say, of course, come on. And step aside.
Yeah, she follows him.
And he's going to look and say, what? What is it?
What's the name of the Spy Master? Anadelia, okay.
Yeah. Hi, Councilwoman Anadelia Surreal.
Yeah. Anadelia knows about Ariana. She knows that she's pregnant. And she's going to do something with that. She's going to pay her a visit today. I would recommend that you let her know before.
Oro is going to look up, like, towards where her office is, and say, shit. And he is going to just look back at Shosinus and Marrow. And he's gonna say, Shosinus was already questioning me about that.
What? Sorry, what? I couldn't hear you.
He's gonna say, Shosinus was already questioning me about that.
Well, no, you can assume that people will find out soon. Anadelia wants to talk to Ariana, so I suggest you talk to her before and let her know, so she's not caught unaware. That's the least that can be done now.
And he is going to point at Weston, and then at this point, Father A and Johan are walking down the hallway. And the distance, and he's going to point at Weston and say, Weston, you need to learn how to follow an order. Watch over them. Come fetch me in the morning. I'm going to South Pell. And he's going to say, yes. And Oro's going to say, yes, what? And he's, yes, sir. He nods and say, good kid, too curious. And he's and he's gonna like start running towards the door, but before he does, he's gonna stop and say, I took your advice. I talked to him this time, but for now, just keep an eye on him for me. I'll be back. And he's going to take off running.
Okay. I go
Do I wait for that?
next to Weston.
Yes.
And put a hand on his shoulder and tell him you're stuck with me now. Or I'm stuck with you now. Yeah, that's better.
And yeah, so Rael, Marrow, and Father A and Johan see Octavia and Oro having a conversation. Then Oro points at Weston, yells something, and then runs away.
You got my measurements.
Did you get the measurements?
Not yet. Got several jobs on.
And one job. And one job today.
Something more important came up. It helps to be quick on your feet as well as your...
Well, anyways. We still need to get you those measurements. Where was he headed?
To where his... Where do you think?
I don't know, Marrow. That's why I asked. I assume South Bell.
Mare just nods.
I'm too old for this.
Shosinus, standing before Father A, holding the... Well, holding Weston less tight now, is gonna say, haven't seen you in some time since you ripped up your land deed in front of my face. How's the back doing?
You know, I shoulder a lot of weight, but I manage. And you still haven't gotten me a temple.
He got me a necklace.
Yeah. Octavia is wearing a very nice necklace with the falcon on it. And Shosinus is going to say, and your time with the councilwoman, productive?
Quite. She's going to require an escort back to South. She has business to show.
Shosinus nods, and he's going to kind of just push Weston forward a little, letting go of him. Weston stumbling, and Shosinus is going to nod to Father A, and then give a warm smile towards Octavia and a bow, and then walk down the hallway. Oh, and before he goes, he's going to turn and say, that one was sneaking around the citizenship council. Are sneaking around the offices of the citizenship council. It's my job to keep this place safe. He's lucky I don't order him into the dungeons of Storm's Nest, or even worse, executed for going through the stuff he was trying to find.
Thank you for bringing him back. I've got it from here.
Here.
He
He's
nods
a
and...
fortunate boy.
Go ahead.
Said he's a fortunate boy.
Yeah. He nods and walks off.
Weston, you and I are going to have a talk about what we get up to.
Get in line.
I don't think we've been properly introduced. Mara refers to Rael, by the way. Kind of looking over his shoulder, still kind of face.
Rael looks a little bit nervous, and he's like, greetings, Rael Peltras, and sounds like we've got a job together.
We do. And in the same day. Maro Estra. Apparently knighted.
And slightly.
Maro kind of feels, kind of looks at him and just says, "No need to bow. A handshake will do. A title is nothing more than a stick."
Al offers his hand.
Maro will offer his hand to shake it. Firm.
Heard humans do things quickly, but this has definitely been an experience.
Maro's just going to sigh. Is there anybody outside of the party? Around. Kind of glance around, checking to see if there's anybody outside the party.
About 40 feet from you, there is a scribe at the desk near the door. Even in after hours, it's her job to, guide anybody who needs the assistance of the council. She is within, you guys are within her perception range, but she's not paying attention to you. It's not her job to, unless you call for her.
Okay. Maro will then look over at Rael and then simply ask, "What is your opinion of, My
opinion is still forming.
I ask this just so that way we love the term, as I have a feeling we will be working together for a while.
AKA, the measurements are never getting done.
Yeah. I'd prefer to know your opinion, personally, towards the shift.
Missed some of that?
I prefer to know your personal opinion, shift, on both Lake and Bourne and Kirk.
I've never had the opportunity to encounter.
Marrow nods and says, "Have. You just don't know it." And then smiles, showing the fang in his mouth, while his hood is still covered towards perception.
We'll smile back with no fangs.
It's basically him saying that he is one. It's just without saying it.
So, from here, where does the party want to go? You guys learned a lot of information talking to Anadelia.
Well, I would like to go to Southpel because that's where Oro's gonna be, and we need to get these damn measurements.
I mean, you don't have to. They're just
I'd
minor.
have gotten them faster had I just wrestled Oriana to the ground and taken myself.
We could go get a dinner and get to know each other and make some plans.
Octavia was saying something?
I want to prevent them from going there.
Okay, how would she do that?
Cause a bigger problem they have to deal with right now.
The building's collapsing!
Not that
Extreme.
extreme, but yeah.
Okay, and what about Marrow and Rael? Oh, Rael wants to go to dinner. Johan has a lot he wants to do. Okay, so let's think on this moment for a second, and we'll pick up here next session since we normally end at about 10:30, and it's 10 o'clock right now.
Okay.
And we'll pick up here, and I'll be messaging you throughout the week, B. Okay, so well.
I mean, I also would like to talk to Weston.
Yeah, I was gonna say, actually, let's spend like 10 minutes real quick if anybody wants to roleplay that, and then we'll end. What would Father A want to ask Weston?
They said you were rooting through the citizenship. I've heard that you have an uncle.
Sorry, Octavia's not going to let you question him.
Oh my god.
Octavia steps in front and stops.
I'm sorry as a player, but Octavia's not going to let you.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's gonna say, yeah, and Octavia, stands in front of Father A and Weston.
Why can't I talk to the boy?
He's not going to answer any questions until Oro gets to talk to him properly. He's his squire and his responsibility.
Young Weston would be rotting in Storm's Nest if I hadn't said anything. I think that gives me some questions.
Johan is going to stand next to Octavia and say, I agree with her. There's ways things should be done, Anderson.
Like, part of her doesn't want his help, but it's like, I'll take it.
No, he's just being contrary.
Who wants to hear about etiquette from the betrayer?
Yeah, he's just being contrary to Father A.
Marrow just going to shake his head and just, why do I have to work with a group, with a pack that's having their fangs at each other's necks more than sniffing out their next prey.
Or is part of the pack too, and you just hang him out to dry.
Look, Aurora's not going to ask the right question. Because he's a knight. He's an arrow. He gets pointed, he stabs.
People are not weapons.
You're right. The problem is Aurora doesn't know the difference.
Mary's going to kind of get a spine chill when she says that people are not weapons.
I
I want to know what Weston's looking for. Because we can
I
help
want to know
him.
too. I want to know too. But I don't think he's going to talk right now.
Well, Octavia scared the living bejesus out of him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's pretty willing to talk to her.
I mean, I want to ask him, but I don't want it to be a public court thing. Because if he's doing something really stupid, I don't want him to like get fucked.
Yeah, and as you guys are having this conversation, Weston is going to speak up and say, my family's scattered to the winds. It's always been falling apart for as long as I can remember. I thought if I joined the Wardens and came south, I could find more on them.
So you sneak for answers instead of asking. Hunt?
No, it's because that information is... I imagine that information isn't public knowledge.
One should be allowed to inquire on their own family.
You'd be surprised what we keep behind bureaucracy.
I forget that civilized life is less trusting of each other. Thank you for reminding me.
Ardorians are better at it, but you have to remember I come from Lilna guy. You have to form via sarcasm.
And Weston is going to say, my sister and I weren't allowed to wear our names because the Rendels are always hunted.
So he said his name. Do I know that name? I'm old. I've been around.
You can roll a history check on it, but probably not.
Oh man. This will be the worst history check I've rolled tonight.
Maro's going to try and comfort him and say, if I say my name around town, I would be shot in the same house that I'm currently residing.
So what does a 19 get me? I assume not a lot.
Yeah, Maro can roll the check too with advantage. Yeah, on a 19, you're going to know the Rendels were they were a pretty popular family, dotted along, and unlike other families like stationed in any one place, they were dotted along the borders of Ardor Sarai. Like, there was a group of Rendels here, a group of Rendels here, a group of Rendels here. Almost like Jacksons, but more so being much closer related. Like a common last name, but knowing that it's kind of like a clan last name. Marrow.
Did I do the wrong check?
No, history's fine. Marrow, picking up on that, you're gonna get like the same information. Just knowing they're kind of scattered about. The little additional bit you get though from your background is you are going to have heard the name Rendell before. Specifically, some lycanthropes in your clan. And most of like those fears of who's hunted and who's like tracked down and killed, those would be the ones who drive those superstitions in Meryl's clans. As they're the ones who have been tracked down, hunted, or killed.
Marrow does share this in terms of I've met a few of your kind. They are part of my... I understand your fears, as we all bear them as well. But know that I bear no ill will to that myself. And understand your desire for understanding. But there are ways to go about it, and there are ways to try and end up getting punished by it for simply trying to understand. Know the difference in order to obtain what they desire. Does that make sense?
And Weston's gonna nod and say, but it doesn't change the fact that they're gone.
Are you just looking for your family?
He
How long haven't...
He nods and says anything about them.
How long haven't you seen them?
And he's going to shrug and say, my father died when I was younger. My uncle disappeared. My mother was claimed by sickness. It's just my sister and I. My other aunts, grandmothers, grandfathers, all disappeared. And he's gonna say, I've paid traveling diviners with the money my sister and I have saved. No one can find anything.
Marrow's going to do a history check to see if he can recall any from his clan that would still be alive. That would have the same last... If that's okay.
Go ahead. Actually, you don't have to roll a history check for that.
Okay.
You would know they come and go. They blow into your clan, and pretty much, your clan's like a haven for anybody with lycanthropy. So even just like having that name, one of them shows up and displays like the traits. Like the clan would keep them safe for as long as needed, and then they just go. They don't stay planted for any time. But yeah, none would be there now.
Okay. Know that my clan has tried to protect kin as one of our... If I do encounter it, a friend, hero, may know if some appear. If that does happen, say that Marrow asks for her to let you know. And for confirmation, say Sniffs told.
What's the name of your uncle?
And he's going to say Alcaius.
I was gonna say, did you say something?
Oh, Alcaius.
Alcaius.
When did he disappear?
Weston is going to shrug and say sometime after my mother was claimed by sickness. I only have brief thoughts of him. And he's gonna say 12, 13 years ago.
If you're done with sneaking around, trying to find them on your own, at least Aura and I will help you. And maybe they will too.
I already said, me or just say my name to Kira and tell her that if she finds anybody with that last name that you would like to know about, and that Sniff said that that you are family too.
Whatever I get it. Besides, I know what it's like to have absolutely no family. If I can find you a bit more, do it.
And he's going to say it's not exactly proper for me to be looking for them. I saw my uncle once when I was a kid. He's gonna point to Marrow and say, like you, except bigger.
Marrow's going to...
I saw him kill a Wyvern with his two hands.
I'm gonna do a history check on that name. Oh, well.
I mean...
Is Weston's Uncle Terror Cry?
Who knows? And, he's, gonna say... Whatever... The reason I have to find my family, whatever happened to my uncle, my father said it's better that we die of sickness before it happens to us.
Must know information of your family that should not be kept from you. I will do what I can, as long as you promise not to snoop. Try to obtain the information. Caution. Determination.
And he is going to say... I have to check his age. Whatever it is, I am not certain, but I need to find out soon. I don't know because I don't have anyone to confirm, but I become an adult in a month's time. My sister next year. We think that's when the curse is gonna set in.
Then we have a month. We're going to find her.
I'm going to do a history check to see if I would know the curse.
And he's going to say, I know where my sister is. She's She's still safe. But whenever whatever happens to my family, it's only a time before I disappear next. The curse, you're gonna know lycanthropy definitely started as a curse. But you're also going to know there are definitely levels of it, depending on who puts it on you. If you're just contracting lycanthropy from somebody, then that can be cured. If there's like a greater magical being scoring in your family or something like that, then that's something that's a lot more difficult to break.
Marrow is going to say, we need to find Kira and take you to the clinic. They know people of your family.
Find
can help.
who?
Kira.
Oh, Kiro. Okay.
We will find Kira and take you to our clan to help find this stuff for me. If you are willing, search it more properly and among people that have dealt with it as well.
And he is, he's gonna nod and say, first I have to, fulfill my obligations to keep myself alive. Then I have to, search for this on my own time.
Again, talk to Kiro and tell her this info. She will be able to help get information from my clan to give to you. And anything that they would know. I have not been in my clan for a while, but I do know that there is a way that we can help you and your sister.
He nods, and I think that's where we're going to end for the night. Yeah, you guys know who knows everything about everything? I'm kidding. You guys don't have to go ask her for anything else.
No, I mean, that's exactly what I thought I was gonna... Because that stands to mean she knows my darkest secret, but she hasn't been hostile. Also, she's scared off all that sun yet.
And Kiro immediately gets... Kiro's the first thing that comes to Marrow's mind, because...
Oh, no, the answer was Anna.
The answer was Anna.
I know the answer is Anna, but...
Those are my two sources of information.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I have to go.
Okay. I will message you. I'll message you guys. Experience, but we'll do experience on stream and set up your guys' next date, and then I'll let you go for the evening. So the next date you guys play will be on the 15th of December. If everybody can make that.
I can't make it.
You can't make the 15th.
I'm not playing. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, let's message on your channel, and we'll find a different date for you guys. Okay. And then
bye, guys.
All right. Enjoy your night, B, and experience for tonight.
This is exciting.
I was kind of hoping the 9th would, we would end the 9th.
I was too.
But yeah, with D, it's the days that never end. So we'll pick up on the midnight of the 9th and then the 10th next session. All right. So gosh, what you guys learned tonight? I don't even pay attention to what you guys learned.
What the fuck?
You guys got a you guys got a new member to your party, Rael. Ariana is planning to take a hit on the battlefield and then go into seclusion for her pregnancy.
I thought she was gonna try and get like abortion via war battle.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I mean, there is a much easier... I mean, if everybody sees her, like, get stabbed or something, then nobody's gonna question, like, oh, she's recovering.
You know, there's a better way to do this. I have a favor with an assassin.
Let's see. Ariana's plan, you guys found out the name of Lethalia's vault and where it's at, Visidir?
I gotta write that down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unintentional plot thread. Anadelia is going to blackmail Ariana for her baby.
That's the best, by the way.
I am sorry, by the way, for that.
No,
it's just that's
see, the way it went, I was super mad, but the part of the madness is just like, oh god, you guys don't know how many secrets I have.
It's just, and Meryl is just trying to think of anything to get this information. Also,
that's the thing. I have so many secrets.
Meryl's gonna
I know who actually killed Marcus. I know that Alis is a fiend. Alis cursed the magnate.
And you guys learned Weston's last name. I was wondering how long it was going to. He told you it, Rendell.
No, I was like, no.
Yeah,
he did.
I was wondering how long it was going to take for somebody to ask like Weston what he was doing.
I was actually going to ask last session, and then we kind of pushed me back into the party.
Yeah, I'll give 3,500 experience for tonight for storyline stuff.
And do I level up as well or no? Okay.
What level are you, Rob? 10?
Wait. I mean, do you want to know right now before I add the experience?
Yeah, what are you right now?
I am level 10.
Okay, and I have you at 9 right now for Marrow. Go ahead.
Yes.
If it's relevant, when I add this 3,500, I will be 11.
Okay, go ahead and level up Marrow.
Okay. I'm going to need your help with that after stream.
Okay, let's do it next weekend. I only have so much stamina for one night. So
okay.
Yeah, we'll end there, and I have to update my broadcaster and everything. Yeah, and there were some minor plot threads that happened tonight that I don't know if you guys picked up on or not.
I pissed off a bunch of nobles.
Oh yeah, you did. That was unintentional, because I was sitting here like thinking, I was just like, man, I just gave the party, I was planning combat for tonight, I was like, I just gave the party 2 NPCs I don't want to have to control. I'm gonna have to up the difficulty of that combat if they stick around. How am I gonna write them out of the story? And then Father Ray's just like, you know what? Fuck you. And
fuck you.
Like,
also,
oh
I did pick up on the fact that the chef is now the appointed no man for
almost judo flipped him.
But then again, I feel kind of bad Mara wasn't there to kind of see his quote-unquote student.
Half of the people in Ardor are dead, and other people have to fill those roles now. So
yeah, most
soldiers died in the conflict. So it's just like, hey, we need you to guard this door. And it's like, okay. If you can trust the chef not to poison you, you can trust him not to step in and stab your magnate while they're sleeping.
Unless he's actually Kato. True. I have to run this by Ariana. Like, fuck, I can just... I have this.
But then again, at least he did... I kind of wish that Mara was there, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad it didn't, because of the way things turned out. And I did pick up on the smell, but Marrow didn't, so I can't say anything on that.
I'm gonna end the broadcast there. Okay. Everybody enjoy your night. Thank you for watching. You can keep talking though, because I'm gonna
especially you, Ramon.
Oh my god, none of my plugins are